we have to talk about this one. Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia. Now, I'm not talking about the fight itself because once again, that's a fight that we can break down separately and we can talk about. But I'm talking about the fact that what we have here is two guys that have done what is not allowed in boxing, and that is fail the drugs test, and both guys, for some reason, are getting an opportunity to fight for, world title shot. So when you look at that, does that reflect good on boxing? Like, does this fight reflect very good on boxing?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, bro. I hear what you're saying, but like they say, man, money makes the world go round. And in boxing, we know, man, it's all about greed, isn't it? Like money talks, man. At the end of the day, you look at Ryan Garcia. Yes, he's been popped for pads. Conor Benn, the eggs, was it contaminated? Was it accident? Like, we've never really come to the full conclusion of that investigation, with Conor Benn. We don't really know what happens. And this is the side I don't like about boxing, right? Fighters get popped for all type of drugs, and then it just goes quiet.
Yeah.
Then the boxing fans, the public, were never made aware of what actually happened. Like, there's no explanations, no details come out, no evidence, nothing. And then we see the fighters coming back and fighting. So I think boxing really needs to get its house in order in terms of the what you call, how can I say, in terms of them being more transparent with the boxing fans. Like, we pay the pay-per-views, we go into the stadiums, we support these fighters, we love the sport, but when it comes to the drug side that everyone hates, like, everything just gets swept under the carpet, and do you know what I mean? And then these fighters are allowed to continue their careers because what? They generate money. Ryan Garcia, big social media following, as you know. Conor Benn, big social media following. Both guys generate a lot of interest for boxing. That's why these fights happening, right?
Yeah.
That is because of who they are and their social following. Because if these two fighters were down at the bottom of the food chain, trust me, they'll never get fights.
Yeah, this fight was, no, like for me, when we look at it, right, it's a good fight. It's actually a great fight because both styles would gel really well, right? Conor Benn doesn't have any back foot sort of fighting ability. He's just come forward, throw bombs. He's got a wide stance just because he wants to generate a lot of power in that shot. And he's very crude in terms of his boxing ability. Ryan Garcia, incredible amateur, has a great pedigree in boxing, great left hook. He can punch with the right hand as well, but he relies a lot on the left hook. So he's got his weaknesses as well, and Conor Benn has got his weakness. So I think this is a good fight between two, a better fighter in Ryan Garcia than Conor Benn. It's a good fight, but the problem is we've got two fighters who have failed the drugs test, and for some reason, both fighters are getting the opportunity to fight for the world title shot. If you look at someone like Jaya Pattaya, who lives the life, who's a great ambassador for boxing, he's on Zuffa boxing, and he's not getting the opportunity. But as you said, these, Ryan Garcia has a really good social media following. Conor Benn has some sort of name behind him because he beat Eubank Jr. in the second fight. And these guys are getting all the opportunity, but you look at Jai, and he's not getting anything. And I think, boxing does not, do itself any favors when it comes to making these sort of fights. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But what we need to understand, and other fans need to understand, who particularly are not fans of both these fighters because of their history with drugs in the sport, is that boxing is a business. Boxing is a business first, and that, as a coach, I tell a lot of these up and coming fighters, I see them in the gym, great skills, they're boxing well, but you need to be able to sell tickets, man. Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn, they generate the numbers for boxing. Therefore, that's why they're going to get these opportunities. That's the only reason why. Like, it's not even about their skills. It's about what they can bring to the table. Now, you bring Jai Pattaya, who's one of my favorite fighters. I got much love for Jai Pattaya. Like, I couldn't admire his skills more.
Yeah.
But the downfall for Jai Pattaya is he doesn't generate the same interest, nor has he got the same commercial value as a Conor Benn and a Ryan Garcia. Yeah. That's just facts. We might not like it, but that is facts. We can look at the numbers, break it down. In terms of numbers, Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn, Jai Pattaya, from an international level, he's nowhere near these two guys, And I know my Usos you know, down under, Australia, New Zealand. They're gonna be like, Enzo, what are you talking about? No, listen, the numbers are there, the stats are there. Conor Benn, Ryan Garcia, these guys generate big numbers. That's why they get the big fights. Jai Pattaya, he just hasn't got that same profile internationally for him to get these type of fights, man. That's why he's been shut down.
I agree. It's all about money, right? It's all about who has got clout behind him, and Ryan Garcia has got clout, and Conor Benn has got clout. So, you know, although these guys have failed drugs tests and they shouldn't be fighting, they should be banned for 5 years, in my opinion. They are fighting because it makes money, and people want to see. But Enzo, one thing that I want to touch on about this fight is Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn had the face-off, and Conor Benn said that Ryan Garcia is a quitter. And that came from the fact that he got on his knee against Gervonta Davis and didn't want to fight. Now, the backdrop of that fight is that Ryan Garcia was dehydrated and wasn't himself in that fight. And, you know, the advantage was on Gervonta Davis' side. But Conor Benn believes that Ryan Garcia is a quitter, and therefore he takes a lot of confidence from that. Do you think that tells us anything about how Ryan Garcia is going to fight in this fight?
Yeah, listen, I get where Conor Benn is coming from, and you know what, Conor Benn has to think that. He has to think that, because if we're talking boxing skills, he has to tell himself that. That's how he's motivating himself. That's what's getting him up out of bed in the morning for him to get for a run and work harder in the gym, because it's like, yo, Ryan Garcia is a quit. I'm gonna make him quit. But obviously, like you said, there was a lot of mitigating circumstances in that Gervonta Tank Davis fight that, you know, got Ryan Garcia to take the knee and not carry on. So I wouldn't really look at that. What I'll be looking at is Ryan Garcia's performance against Mario Barrios. You know, and I know Mario Barrios is not the best champion that's ever been. He's probably one of the worst. He's gonna go down in history, one of the worst champions in the welterweight division. But it was a good win. It was a good win. Focus on Ryan Garcia? I mean, his right hook was money. Left straight was money. Ring IQ overall, money. The way he moved in the fight, footwork, everything, focus, concentration, reflexes, speed, everything. Boxing skills was absolutely fantastic. He put on a masterclass. He boxed so well. I'm going to say this. You know, Ryan Garcia is one of those very talented fighters here. If he's locked in, if he's focused, if he's not doing all the antics on social media, and I get it because he has to sell the fight somehow, right? He has to generate the interest. But when he's locked in, and I think it's really with a good coach now. I think it's with Derrick James now. Errol Spence's coach, So they've got him locked in. And if I'm Conor Benn, mate, be careful what you wish for, because a really focused Ryan Garcia, he's an elite boxer, man. I know he lost against Rolly Romero. He lost against Rolly Romero, but again, he was coming off a year with the drugs ban, and he didn't fight ring rust. He kind of got caught cold. But when Ryan Garcia is focused, bright, trust me, he is nobody to play with. We saw what he done to Devin Haney, even though he was on peds. But Conor Benn has to be very careful. If he thinks Ryan Garcia is going to go in that ring and quit against him, then he's going to get a rude awakening come September the 12th.
Yeah. I think, as you said, you know, Conor Benn has to hold on to something. He has to find something to use as motivation to get himself up in the morning to run and get ready for this fight. And I think, you know, Ryan Garcia getting on his knee and not getting up in that Gervonta Davis fight is what he's going to hold on to. But he needs to realize that Ryan Garcia has a really good amateur background. He has some really good wins in the pro ranks, and he's a really good fighter, right? He's been boxing since he was 7 or 6. So that doesn't leave you just all of a sudden. So Conor Benn has got a lot to prove in this fight. And look, hopefully we get a fantastic fight, a great fight. But as I said, we can talk about the fact that it looks like it's a great fight.
We'll break it down.
You know, it looks like it's going to be a great fight. But I think that, you know, we cannot shy away from the fact that these are two, you know, drug cheats that are basically fighting. If we're going to talk about the good side of boxing, you know, you and I, we always keep it real on our channels, right? We have to be able to talk about the negative side of boxing and why this is not the right thing to do when it comes to boxing, where fighters like these guys that have failed, you know, drugs tests, you know, get the opportunity to fight for world titles. It's not fair. And for me, I always make sure that I am balanced in my, you know, conversation when it comes to boxing and giving people the good and the bad as well. as always. Guys, get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn, and the fact that both guys have failed the drugs test. The conversation about this is that, you know, people don't think that this fight should happen because both fights don't deserve to fight for the world title shot. What do you think about it? Do you think it matters? Do you think boxing is changing? Do you think there are more fighters using drugs and they're just not being caught and this is just a normal thing in boxing? Get in the comment section and let me know what you think about it. And also, don't forget to follow Enzo, the realest in the game. Follow his channel, subscribe to the channel, watch all his videos, incredible content on his channel. And as always, me and Enzo come here and we give you the best of the best content in boxing. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out.